Hi, it's Aurora. I'm here doing video number 5. Today, all day, I've just been fascinated. Fascinated with perception and fascinated about how changeable everything in our reality really is. How distinctly unique each circumstance we find ourselves in can be when you bring the emotion or the mindset, the thought that you're experiencing into the equation. And within that awareness, it's truly infinite where we can go within ourselves, when we can explore and how we can grow. It's so much in our control that it's no wonder that fear can really get in the way, because that's a huge power to really be the creator of your reality, to really not be a victim anymore of what goes on in your life, but instead be like, I don't like this, I'm going to change it, and I'm going to learn from it. I'm going to stop reacting in this way because I can. And the second that I'm aware of that, everything shifts. And it shifts in an incredible way. It turns into something beautiful and loving and happy and powerful. So I take that and I think about the interactions I have with my friends, people that are close to me. I learn so much from them. I learn so much about myself, and I learn how to love so much by being aware of the things that irk me or the things that I find I get frustrated by, and shifting that into myself and saying, well, where do I do that? Or where am I maybe not even loving that within me? And so when I see it in someone else, it's like I have to judge it, I have to criticize it, or I have to change it into something else. And so I take that energy of projection and bring it back in. And it's not always easy to admit that they're your own projections, but when you do, it's like some more easier, some fall away easier than others, but most of them, they're gonna fade off pretty quickly because that's what they're there for. They're there to teach you, to show you something about yourself that may be an inhibition or a blockage or a part of yourself that denies more growth, denies opening, and denies more love. I'm grateful for that awareness. I'm grateful that we can have that awareness. And part of reclaiming my own truth and reclaiming my own soul and establishing my own confidence and expression is opening up and sharing that truth, sharing that kind of self-awareness, and presenting myself differently to certain situations, acting out of a place of understanding or acceptance, because you can relate when you have a perspective that's sort of sideswiped from yourself, or when you know, like, we all feel things, we all have hurts, and we all have pain, and we all have these things that get us to form certain walls and form certain reactions and certain judgments and dislikes. I think that people have certain tastes for sure, but there's also a point where understanding why something bothers you, or why you don't like something, or why it keeps coming up in your life, and it's like the most tough, like, horrible experience to go through. It's just so frustrating, and you're so victimized, and you're so fed up with that, all the things that life is putting in front of you. And you see them that other way. There's nothing not to like. There's just more to grow. There's just more to learn. There's just more to crack open and be receptive towards the opening. Open. And I think when you do that, when you open more and more and more, become more peaceful, because you've established a mature handle on those emotions that can wind up controlling our day-to-day lives and happiness. It brings a sense of stillness, centeredness, of power, but not overpowering power, not a power that is going to make another person feel small, or you need to prove that you're up there and you're better. It's a power of just being who you are. The power of presence. And somehow I feel like the more present you are, the more inside of yourself while experiencing external realities, the more silence, the less clutter. And the more opening for existing in your truth, for existing as you are, and tapping into that creative, unlimited potential that lies dormant within so many of us. To tap into that fire. Yeah. Imagine that when more of us begin to know ourselves, more of us begin to reflect instead of project, and really search for the inward reason for something instead of deflect it or run away or hide or get angry or shut it out, then beautiful things are gonna happen. And I think that's what's going on, and beautiful things really are gonna happen. And I think it's about learning to just move into the light and move into those higher enlightened states of mind, really necessarily where we need to go. I think the dark parts of ourselves, those underworld, underrealm things twisted things that we don't want to talk about, we don't want to share, we don't understand, and are also very powerful, are just as important. I think that in that union of them, in the union of the dark and the light, there's a true union of self. There's a true union of being and expressing, experiencing. And understanding that we live in a world of duality, but there's no duality at all at the same time. That paradox. It's great. I feel great. I feel very much love, very much gratitude for everything, for everyone.